Hey guys, how's it going? It's Billy back again with another update. Today I'm coming at you with this is a country update of a collection that was given to me. Well, actually, it wasn't given to me. I traded out some photos for it. But a friend of mine had called up and said that her dad was going to have a garage sale and he had a big box full of records. That's what she told me, was a big box full of records, so I didn't know if it was, 25 or 100 or 200 records. Anyway, it turned out being a crate full of records that she brought over. Asked me if I was interested in them. I said yes. I said, what do you want for them? She's like, oh, I don't want anything for them. So long story short, I ended up trading her some photos that I had taken of her son playing football. So it worked out great for me. The photos were just sitting on the hard drive, and she was happy that she was able to unload these records, and I was able to give her some photos that she liked. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. This is all country, so if you're not into country, you can tune out. But there's some really cool stuff here. Some classic stuff, some 80s stuff. Like I said, we'll jump right in here. Alabama. This is which one is this? Just Alabama, self-titled. No, My Home's in Alabama, but it has Tennessee River. My Home's in Alabama. Why Lady Why. There's that one. Here is Alabama's Mountain Music. Has Mountain Music, Close Enough to Perfect. Looks like a cover of Green River. Take Me Down. Gonna Have a Party. That was another one that was released. It was a great album. There were 2 copies of Feels So Right. I think that's what this one is. Yeah, 2 copies of Feels So Right in there, which has Love in the First Degree, Feels So Right. Old Flame. Those were the big singles off of that one. And then the last Alabama here was Greatest Hits. Most of those I have. Those are all, a lot of these guys are duplicates, because I mean, I'm a country guy, so if anybody maybe wants to work out some trades or something for some of this stuff, I'm open to that as well. Maybe some of it will end up as VCLT to some of y'all that do actually enjoy country. So speak up or forever hold your peace. Kenny Rogers, The Gambler, nice copy of that. As you saw in the screenshot, Waylon Greatest Hits, love that. Unfortunately, no record in this. But that's cool. I've got plenty of copies of this, but this I'm going to frame and hang up on the wall back here with Steve Earle and Blackberry Smoke and a couple other things. But that'll make a some nice wall art. Merle Haggard, Live, Rainbow Stew. This has some great songs on it. Misery and Gin, Think I'll Just Stay Here and Drink. The Running Kind, Lonesome Fugitive, Rainbow Stew, Sing Me Back Home. Great set. That was probably from the mid 80s, 84, 85 probably. Excuse me. 82. Let's see. Johnny Cash's Greatest Hits, Volume 1. Let's see. Grab a quick drink. There we go. That's what we got today. Cheers, VC. Great album. Phenomenal artist. Love Tanya Tucker. Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone? Love this record, and a beautiful copy. That is on the red and gold Columbia. And then another Tanya Tucker early Greatest Hits. San Antonio Stroll, love that song. There were a couple comps in here, but this is and I don't typically get into country comps because they have so much such a large country music collection. But some of these are really nice to have. So this is Greatest Country Hits of the 60s, Volume 1. And essentially, a lot of these songs I may not have. The artists like Detroit City, DIVORCE, Act Naturally. Obviously, I have Act Naturally in El Paso. But there are so many others that I probably wouldn't have. Skip a Rope. But I do have Together Again, Daddy Sang Bass, and Gentle on My Mind. So that's one that probably won't get played too much, but there are some others that I was like really stoked to see, like these two here. 19 Hot Country Requests. This will have Going Where the Lonely Go, Talk to Me, Last Thing I Needed, First Thing This Morning, Willie Nelson, which Chris Stapleton just did a fantastic cover of on his From A Room Volume 1. Let's see what else is on here. Whatever Happened to Old Fashioned Love, great song by B.J. Thomas. You Take Me for Granted by Merle Haggard, one of my absolute all-time favorite songs by the Hag. The Ride by David Allan Coe. So you see, I mean, I have a lot of this stuff already, but Ricky Skaggs' Highway 40 Blues, Poncho and Lefty, I Always Get Lucky with You, George Jones. So it is, even though I may have a lot of this stuff, it's great to have it in, put it on in all in one. Here's another one, 19 Hot Country Requests Volume 2, which will have Willie Nelson, Mickey Gilley, Roseanne Cash, Johnny Rodriguez, David Allan Coe, George Jones, Haggard, B.J. Thomas, Charlie McLean, Ricky Skaggs, Ronnie McDowell, Willie Nelson, and Uncle Pin by Ricky Skaggs. Nice cover there. Johnny Horton's Greatest Hits. I think I have this is probably the second copy of this that I have. I know Andy had just shown this, and maybe Liam, some of you other country guys, but what a great record. With Glenn Campbell just passing, a couple weeks ago, here is A Gentle on My Mind, which I have several copies of. This one isn't the best of copies, but it's still fairly clean. A very nice clean copy of the Wichita Lineman. And this is on the blue. It's a really cool looking blue Capitol label. Most of them are on the black rainbow, I believe. Here is Satisfied Mind, and this is a Pickwick. There's 2 copies of that. That was the one I was thinking there were 2 copies of. So yeah, it's just on the silver Pickwick label. Randy Travis, old 8x10s. So like I said, there's some stuff in here, the old classic stuff, the Campbell, the Haggard, stuff like that, and even some of the 80s greats like Randy Travis and Reba McEntire and things like that. Here's some Freddie Fender. Are You Ready for Freddie? Look at that hair. Little Wasted Days and Wasted Nights and things like that. Dolly Parton, Here You Come Again. Nice gatefold of Dolly here. There she is. This I was super stoked to have. I've probably got 2 or 3 copies of this Marshall Tucker Band Greatest Hits, but this thing is still sealed in the original factory seal there. Huge Kenny Rogers fan, and I love Kenny Rogers and the first edition Greatest Hits. Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town. Some really, really good stuff on there. Here's another one. Nope, that one is still in the shrink. It's not sealed, but the Best of Willie. Sorry about the glare there. Very interesting piece here. This is on Sun Records. Jerry Lee Lewis, Rockin' Rhythm and Blues. So this is a promotional DJ copy. White label promo. There you go on the Sun label. Turn it to where you can see it here. I can't find any information on this anywhere. I've looked at Discogs. I've checked a couple other places and can't find any information on that. So I can find obviously the pressing here, but nothing on a white label promo. So if anybody has any information, maybe George George might know a little bit about that, or who else? Liam, maybe, Memphis Jim and the Misses, maybe. But anyway, Jerry Lee Lewis, Rockin' Rhythm and Blues. I'm looking for any other information you guys can help me with on that white label promo. Here's another Jerry Lee Lewis, Another Place, Another Time. That's got What's Made Milwaukee Famous, Made a Fool Out of Me. Chet Atkins here. A True Artist. The one and only Roger Miller. I have so many different Roger Miller records, but I did not have this one. And I don't know, I'm not familiar with any of the song titles on here. Andy had just sent me a VCLT package. Thanks again for that, Andy. Wearing that stuff out, playing the crap out of the Eagles. That Eagles copy was just a top copy. Thanks again. I can't thank you enough for that. The Marty Robbins Time Life thing compilation, greatest hits compilation. Played the shit out of that, and the Johnny Rodriguez, loved it. So here's another Johnny Rodriguez that I didn't have. This is Songs About Ladies in Love. I really do enjoy, I mean, I'd always heard of Johnny Rodriguez, but I'd never really dug into any of his catalog, and I dig the guy's vocals, his style, his approach, his tone. Really good country artist from back in the day, back in the 70s. Yeah, part of that outlaw movement, I guess. With Waylon and Willie and guys like that. Here's speaking of outlaws, Johnny Paycheck's greatest hits. Good stuff. Another Freddie Fender, Rockin' Country. This one I hadn't seen before, The Christmas Spirit, sung by Johnny Cash. So all your Christmas songs, Silent Night, Little Drummer Boy, things like that, sung by Cash himself. So I'm going to give that a spin. I have a good friend that is a huge Johnny Cash fan, and if I don't keep it, he'll love it. So, drink time. Moving right along, Barbara Fairchild, the Teddy Bear song. I don't know if Barbara Fairchild has local ties here or not, but this was a huge song locally on the radio. I remember being, when I was a kid, she would always, every summer, play the local county fair. And a guy that probably is my dad's age played drums with her every year. So I thought that was really cool. I don't see these very often, and this one was still in the shrink. So this has the song, I Want to Be Your Teddy Bear. I don't know. You guys probably aren't familiar, but some of you probably are. Let's see. Roger Miller, Golden Hits. This obviously has a lot of stuff on it that everybody would know. King of the Road, Dang Me, Chug-a-Lug, Do-Wacka-Do, Can't Roller Skate in a Buffalo Herd. Anyway, good stuff there. Little Harper Valley PTA, Jeannie C. Riley. This one I was pretty stoked to get a real nice, clean copy of music from the motion picture Convoy. That's got C.W. McCall, Kenny Rogers, Lucille, Gene Watson, Crystal Gale, Merle Haggard's Okie from Muskogee, Glenn Campbell's Southern Nights. Good stuff. Let's see what else here. Tammy Wynette, Tammy's Greatest Hits. Stand By Your Man, DIVORCE. I Don't Want to Play House. Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad. Really, really good stuff on there. That one had a little bit of water damage to the cover. Another Roger Miller, Words and Music. This one has been around the block, but it's Folsom Prison Blues. A Johnny Cash. It's got some wear to it. It is on Hilltop Records. It's probably a generic, like, kind of like a Pickwick or something like that. B.J. Thomas, Country. Still sealed? Nope, it's not. It's not sealed, but it's still in the shrink. And I'm striking out today on those. Still fairly early, but nice condition. B.J. Thomas. This probably doesn't have. It looks like it has a whole bunch of covers on it. Cold Cold Heart, Four Walls, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, Suspicious Minds, Skip a Rope, Everybody's Talking. Let's see, Charlie Pride. There were a couple Charlie Prides in here, and what country collection, it wouldn't be complete without some Charlie Pride. Burgers and Fries and Cherry Pies. Like I said, I haven't really had a chance to dig through these, but this is a gold label promo there. Let's see what, just on the black, RCA Victor, Reba McEntire, The Last One to Know. Looks like that's the only song off that. That had to have been one of what was that, early 80s? Oh, that's 87. Couple Kitty Wells, Pledging My Love and Singing 'Em Country. The Great George Jones. And this, it says it's on Mercury, but it's Blue Wing Mercury. The Great George Jones. Again, not a whole lot of stuff that I'm familiar with, and I'm familiar with a lot of that stuff. Best of Buck Owens, Volume 3. Good stuff on there. Kenny Rogers, Gideon. There you go. Willie Nelson, Minstrel Man. Again, I didn't have this one, never seen this one. Just black RCA. I'll Share My World with You, Tammy and George. Let's see. It looks like it has a version of The Race Is On there that I'm not sure what they probably went back and redid it. Let's see, music from the original motion picture, Electric Horseman, featuring Willie Nelson. A couple Willie Nelsons here. A couple copies of Stardust. One in shrink, one without. Jim Reeves and Patsy Cline, Greatest Hits. Merlin Willie, Little Poncho and Lefty. Another Kitty Wells, Queen of Honky Tonk Street. Decca Records. Yep, on Decca. This one I was pretty stoked to get. Loretta Lynn, Back to the Country, featuring The Pill. Was there? Looks like she does a cover of Linda on My Mind by Conway. Paper Roses, and The Pill. That was the big one off this record here, and it's on the light blue RCA. Another comp, 20 all-time great country hits, 2-record special. Nice gatefold featuring all the artists there. Speaking of Andy sending me that Marty Robbins Time Life comp, here's the Dolly Parton version of that. Like I said, I have a bunch of these. I have a Buck Owens, I have the Marty one, Johnny Cash, Kenny Rogers, now Dolly. Here's some Hank Williams. Nice comp by Hank. Another one here, dual LP, 2-record set, road music. So it's going to have, like 6 Days on the Road, Teddy Bear, Convoy, Truck Driving Man, a whole bunch of truck driving music. Gear Shift and Shit. Let's see. Songs of Love Country Style, and this one is still sealed. Why did I hang on to this one? Okay, so you can see that's why I hung on to this one. It has the Oak Ridge Boys, Marty Robbins, Brenda Lee, Roy Clark, Tanya Tucker and Glenn Campbell, Merle Haggard, George Strait, Blame It on Mexico, Haggard's If We're Not Back in Love by Monday, Patsy Cline, I Fall to Pieces, Don Williams, It Must Be Love. So pretty good stuff on there. This one was kind of cool, kind of neat, interesting. Ask Me What I Am by Burt Reynolds. So I'm gonna have to give that a spin, just for shits and grins. Who knows? I'm not expecting much from that. Charlie Pride's 10th album, just in case you weren't aware. They named it his 10th album. The Many New Sides of Charlie Rich. Here again, this is on the Smash Records label, which they did a bunch. They did all the Roger Miller stuff, all that. This one I was stoked to get. The Oak Ridge Boys, the All Come Back Saloon. The only copy I've ever had of this was on a Greatest Hits CD, and I absolutely love that song. Let's see what else. You're the One, and You All Come Back Saloon. As far as I can tell, those were the only two big hits. ABC Dot Records. And then last but not least here, Bobby Sue. Oak Ridge Boys, Bobby Sue. What else is on here? A cover of Up on Cripple Creek. But Bobby Sue, that one's worth the price of admission right there. So that's about 100 records or so. Get another drink. 75 or 100 records or so, all different kinds of country that was given to me, traded to me for some photos, and I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, some of these will be available if you guys are interested. Same with the last video that I just posted with the rock and roll collection. There were probably 50 or 75 records in that collection. Some of those I will keep, but some of that could go out as VCLT or trade or whatever. But let me know, because a lot of this stuff is duplicates at this point. But I just wanted to show you guys what I've been getting the last couple weeks. Trying to think what I have coming up on the horizon as far as videos. I'm still, as you can see, the music room behind me, the area is still kind of in disarray. I do have all my country stuff organized over here on this wall, and I have the majority of the rock finally sorted and alphabetized. Now I'm just getting ready to fill all the containers and all the cubes. I gotta tell you though, I absolutely hate, as much as I thought I would love this, and I do for display sake and the way it works. I hate looking at spines. I've always been a front face guy, so that's why I built the 2 front face displays here. They just take up so much room. You can hold so many more records in these Kallax, the IKEA things. But you're looking at about 100, 75 if you don't want to pack them too tight. But which I'm not going to. I'm going to pack, like I say, between 75 and 100 in each cube. So just what I have, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 3,600 records would fit. Well, no, because if you're gonna let's just say 3,000 records will fit just in those IKEAs that I ended up getting. And it's going to take every bit of that space just to fill the rock and roll records in my collection. The country, I'm already have. I'm probably close to 500-600 records of just country music. So, and that's not counting these that I just brought in. So. Some of those, like I said, won't actually make their way into the collection, but it's coming along. So hopefully in the next week or so, I'll have a video of that all finalized, and so you guys can take a room tour, an official room tour. So guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care. Peace.